Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Kieran. I help people using a spiritual perspective. Today I want to talk about something that's always kind of gotten on my nerves a little bit, and it's when a lot of spiritual people, well-to-do meaning people with, personalities and opinions and all the normal things that we all have, tell others that you shouldn't pay attention to the 3D. That the material world, this physical place, is not to be bothered with. Don't worry about the 3D. Don't focus on the 3D. Don't pay attention to the 3D. Just look at the spiritual side of things. Just look at the 5D or the 4D. Just imagine it's all nice and happy and sick. It's a sick way of looking at things. I used to be like that. I used to be like that because I believed that. I ate it up like some chocolate pudding on Thanksgiving. Did people eat chocolate pudding on Thanksgiving? I don't know. But I ate it up like some yummy, yummy pudding. And it appealed to my mind, it appealed to me because I wanted to believe that if I ignored the 3D, which is where all the action takes place, then I could get by on a simple belief system. But beliefs are not enough to get you anywhere. Beliefs are nice. Beliefs might get you up in the morning. Beliefs might keep you from killing yourself. Beliefs might get you through that rough hour and a half at work, or that they might get you to sleep even. They might help you. And there's nothing wrong with beliefs. I'm not here to bash beliefs. Beliefs are great. But everybody has beliefs, everybody has opinions, and beliefs and opinions also change. And that's why it's very hard to rely on them for your sense of peace, for your sense of wholeness, or even for really direction. You have to take action in your life. And when people say, when these sort of, the YouTubers or self-proclaimed gurus on Instagram tell others to not focus on the 3D, it's misguided. I understand some of the wisdom though, and we can talk about that very quickly so it doesn't feel like I'm just shitting on the idea altogether. The purpose, of course, by saying don't focus on the 3D is that whatever things look like out here, that might not be the representation of where you're headed. Okay, so by just looking at what's going on or what's lacking in your life, you might think, well, then it's never going to happen, right? So people are trying to say, well, don't focus on the 3D. Don't look at what's going on here. Don't focus on that, right? But so many times when it's sort of how they're saying it with what they're talking about, right? And it's often not, people aren't really saying it when it comes to things like dealing with depression or sadness or grief or overcoming difficult emotions or situations. Most of the people who are saying things that are close or literally don't pay attention to the 3D are saying it attached to subjects that are very, very tricky and not very concise or clear. And one such subject would be twin flames. Right? So you're in separation with somebody, you're in separation with someone that you love or a partner, and so many people will say, don't pay attention to the 3D. You guys are meant to be together. Don't pay attention to the 3D. But I'm here to say I disagree with that very strongly. And all of my pasty goodness, I very, very strongly disagree with that, because if you don't pay attention to the 3D, you're missing out on red flags. You're missing out on many synchronicities which happen in the 3D, because that's where we're seeing things, right? So to not pay attention to the 3D is ignoring a very strong part of reality. Now, I will be the first to say that this physical plane is not all that there is, or it's not all that I believe that there is. I've felt more, I've in a way seen more, and I've experienced more than to just say this physical reality is all that there needs to be, or that this physical reality is all that there is. And I'm not talking about heaven, I'm not talking about a hell, anything like that, any kind of human thing. I'm simply talking about the fact that the things that are going on in our society and our culture on the physical plane of Earth is not necessarily all that there is. There's a huge overarching energy that you can really get in touch with, almost in the sense, if you've ever seen Star Wars, it's very close to that, to the sense of the Force, how everything is made up of that kind of energy. You can feel it, you can get in touch with it, you can literally experience it yourself. So that kind of existence of things is something that I will always advocate for, and because I believe it, because I've experienced it. But I will at no point in the future and currently tell people to ignore the 3D, because it's impractical advice and it's not very good. And what happens to so many people and what happened to me is that you will go forward on a belief alone. And you will ignore the 3D because you will think, oh, well, it doesn't matter that I don't have a car or I don't have a job or that, this isn't working out or that isn't working out or that the partner isn't with me. I should just keep on going forward. I should make this move. I should do that. I should head this direction. I should keep staying in this relationship. I should keep staying in this connection. I should keep loving this person. I should keep giving this thing my energy, this person my energy, this relationship my time. That starts to blur the lines of reality when you just ignore the 3D altogether. You can't do that. You have to be able to look at the 3D as a marker, not as proof, but as a marker. You have to be able to remain grounded, because the difference between some sort of new age spiritual person and someone who's practicing grounded spirituality like myself is that other type of person, they're doing their own shit in their own world, and that they're the types of people that go live in tents, or they go to Burning Man, and they think crystals cure cancer, or they go off into these huge experiences to try and find themselves. I was there, and they live in a place that isn't necessarily reality. It's not part of the world. They sort of exit from society, and it's not that experience doesn't offer you anything or that it can't even be fun. But the thing is, are you going to be a monk? Because if you want to ignore society, if you want to ignore reality, if you want to just ignore everything that you've built, or you don't want to build anything, if you want to go live like a monk, then go be like a monk. Go do that. Now, personally, I don't think the world needs more monks. I really don't. I think the world needs scientists, educated people, artists, creatives, grounded spiritualists, philosophers, people that think, rational thinkers, environmentalists, activists. That's what the world needs. It doesn't need people to go off into a mountain and spout some pretty simple wisdoms so everybody can hear. Of course, that's great, that's fine, but for most of us, that's not going to be a reality. For most of us, it's not what we want or what we desire. So to ignore the 3D and what's going on it's too ungrounded. It's too irrational to do that. You need to be able to pay attention a little bit. You need to say, okay, well, I can't take this step yet because this is what's going on. This is the reality. And with things, if you notice red flags in relationships, doesn't matter if you want to call them your twin flame, soulmate, violet ray, sugar gumdrop. I don't care what label you're gonna call them. The idea is you can look at somebody else and you pay attention to the 3D and you go, okay, well, in the 3D, nothing is moving. In the 3D, they don't talk to me. In the 3D, they blocked me, they've separated, or we've been gone for years and we haven't seen each other. In the 3D, we don't seem to be communicating healthily. In the 3D, nothing seems to be pushing us closer together. In the 3D, we keep getting farther apart. In the 3D, they treat me like shit. If you keep focusing on the 3D, you'll notice more, right? But if you focus only on the 3D, then yeah, you'll miss out on a beautiful myriad of wisdoms and metaphors and symbolism and synchronicities and joy and peace and a whole other kinds of world, absolutely. So I'm not here to say that you should only focus on the 3D, but I'm also here to say you shouldn't only focus on spirituality. That is not going to get you to where you want, and not quicker. When I was younger, I went through this phase in my mid-20s, 24, 25, and I did not want to pay attention to the 3D. And I realize it now was I just wanted an easy way out. I just wanted to think, well, just believing in a future where this is all fine, where this type of relationship is going to work out because I don't pay attention to the 3D, or my life is going to head in this direction this quickly because, don't pay attention to the 3D. No. That didn't work out like that. And that's how people are presenting that information. I'm not making that up. That is how people present that information. And yeah, maybe they might backtrack at the end of it and go, oh no, well, I never said that. But that is actually what happens. That is how they present that information. It's only when things didn't go according to the teachings that they can backtrack at all. But otherwise, if it worked out, then they get to feel empowered by their own beliefs. But so often, it does not work out. Sometimes it does. It gets you very short term to your goals and stuff like that. But in the medium to long term, with so many people, and I can't speak for everybody on the planet, but at least for myself and those I've witnessed, it tends to fall apart after a year or two of that kind of thinking, because reality will hit you in the face and you will be stuck on your ass and you will go, holy shit, my beliefs didn't work. What was wrong with my beliefs? Well, maybe nothing, maybe everything, but what was going on with your actions? And what did you notice what was going on in the physical reality? Did you see the signs? Were you paying attention? Because this is where our answers are being interpreted from. And the best that we can do is try to present truth, right? The best I can do as a coach, as a YouTuber, as someone who cares about this information, as someone who likes helping people, who wants to help people, the best that I can do is try to speak from the heart and try to be honest. That's the best I can do. That's why I don't edit my videos. That's why I don't prepare my videos. That's why I don't think about my videos. That's why I don't even watch my videos. The whole point is that I want to come as close as I can to the truth. That doesn't mean that it's going to resonate with everybody, but I want the truth to be presented in a way that can resonate, that can be picked up, that doesn't lead people down a path that could hurt them. That's the best I can hope for, and hopefully over time I'll get better at that. But this video is really just here to help you and to even inspire you to just take a moment before you throw yourself into spirituality. I mean, this video would be very poignant if you're starting your spiritual journey, because I don't want you to throw yourself into a reality, into a world where you suddenly just get some spiritual ideas and think that that's going to solve everything, because it's not. So you have to pay attention to the 3D. This is where we're interpreting reality. This is where we are. Like it or not, this is the plane of existence where we exist. There's taxes, there's death, there's good things, there's hot chocolate, there's sex, there's drugs you can kill yourself with, and drugs you can have fun with, drugs that can help you with pain, drugs that can numb you. There's vacations, there's beautiful places, but there's injury, there's pain, there's heartache, there's so much that's going on here. So to ignore it would be ill-advised, I think. And the best thing that we can do is pay attention to the 3D, use it as a marker, use it to see how far we've come, use it to see what's coming up, what repeating patterns or what we notice about our reality. Go slow, pay attention, see what's going on around you. But also keep that understanding of spirituality alive within you. Keep that understanding of your connection with your highest self. Keep the dreams alive, keep your awareness alive, and keep it heading in the direction of your destiny and where you would like to go. Otherwise, if you can't maintain that balance, what happens, and what happened to me, is you will kind of be ripped up from the earth, almost like someone pulling a vegetable, and you just chucked into the air, and hopefully you land back down and sort of reroute yourself, but so many times people don't. And that is a tragedy.